there, everyone! Welcome to the Quirky Chronicle channel's Comedy Bonanza. Today we're diving into a wild scenario. What if your GPS goes haywire and starts dishing out wacky directions? Yes, that's exactly the adventure we're embarking on together. So, strap in, folks, we're about to embark on a hilariously unpredictable journey. Picture this. You're cruising on the highway when suddenly, your GPS makes a bizarre request. "Take the next exit," it cheerily chirps. And you, ever the obedient driver, follow the directions. But wait, where is it taking you? This isn't the way to Grandma's house. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an abandoned parking lot. Your GPS, however, seems unfazed by this. It's as if it's taking you on a secret mission, guiding you through the rows of non-existent cars. "Your destination is on the right," it announces proudly. You squint, looking around. There's nothing but a sea of empty spaces, stretching as far as the eye can see. You're left scratching your head, trying to figure out what kind of mysterious destination your GPS had in mind. The ghost of a forgotten shopping mall? A secret underground lair? It's a riddle wrapped in an enigma tucked away in an empty parking lot. If you ever find that destination, do let us know. Next up, your GPS decides to show off its multilingual skills. Picture this. You're cruising down the highway when suddenly your trusty guide switches from its standard monotone to a thick French accent. "Tournez à droite," it croons, leaving you scrambling to remember your high school French lessons. Just as you're getting the hang of it, the GPS decides to throw in a curveball. It adopts a heavy Scottish brogue that leaves you wondering if you've somehow ended up in the Highlands instead of the highway. "Turn left at the next roundabout," it instructs. You're not sure if you're supposed to turn left or perform a traditional Scottish dance. And just when you think things can't get weirder, the GPS takes on a thick Australian accent. "Chuck a U-way after the servo, mate," it suggests. You're left wondering if you should be looking for a kangaroo or a gas station. And that, folks, was a crash course in accents. No supermarket in sight, though. Optimism can be a great thing, unless it's your GPS being overly optimistic. Picture this. You're cruising along, and your GPS promises a straight path to your destination. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? But wait, suddenly you're led into a labyrinth of one-way streets and dead ends. Your GPS, ever the cheerleader, continues to insist, "You will arrive in 5 minutes." Meanwhile, you're going around in circles, passing the same grumpy cat on the corner for the 10th time. You start to wonder if the GPS has a personal vendetta against you or if it's just having a laugh. But hey, it's not all bad. After all, you're getting a comprehensive tour of every nook and cranny of the neighborhood. Plus, you're becoming an expert at three-point turns. So, nothing like a good old maze to spruce up your drive to work, right? Ever wanted philosophy with your navigation? No? Too bad. Imagine you're just out for a casual drive and your GPS starts pulling a Socrates on you. Instead of the usual turn left at the next intersection, it's more like, turn left and while you're at it, consider the fleeting nature of time. Suddenly, you're not just navigating through city streets, you're navigating through deep existential debates. At the roundabout, take the second exit and ponder the purpose of your journey. Not just this journey, but your journey through life. What was supposed to be a simple drive to the grocery store becomes a profound introspection session. You've arrived at your destination, but have you arrived at your life's destination? It asks. And just like that, your GPS has turned your casual drive into a philosophical exploration. You were just trying to find the nearest bank, but now you're questioning the meaning of life itself. A bit of existential dread to accompany your drive, anyone? Round and round we go, where we stop, nobody knows. Picture this, friends. You're cruising along on a straight road, and suddenly your GPS develops a peculiar fascination with roundabouts. It's like an over-eager tour guide, pointing out every roundabout as a must-see attraction. And no, it doesn't just want you to visit, it wants you to experience the full joy of a circular tour, again and again. As you enter the roundabout, the GPS chirps, "Take the third exit," with the enthusiasm of a kid on a merry-go-round. Once you've gone round and finally take that third exit, guess what? There's another roundabout waiting for you. And yes, you guessed it, take the third exit, it insists. The GPS's newfound love for roundabouts turns your simple, straightforward drive into a dizzying carousel ride. The road may be a loop, but it seems the GPS is stuck in a loop too. Just when you thought roundabouts couldn't get any more confusing. Who needs a destination when you have the journey, right? Have you ever wanted to experience the beauty of the countryside without actually planning to? Well, that's exactly what happened to our driver when their GPS decided to take them on an impromptu scenic route. Picture this. A simple trip to the local mall transformed into a grand tour of every back road and hidden trail in the vicinity. The GPS, with its unwavering confidence, rerouted our driver further into the wilderness. It's like the GPS said, "Why bother with civilization when we can explore the great unknown?" Miles and miles of scenic vistas later, our driver finds themselves in the middle of nowhere, with no mall in sight. Instead of a parking lot, they're surrounded by fields, forests, and the occasional squirrel. So there you have it, a scenic tour to nowhere, courtesy of your trusted GPS. Who knew a quick trip to the mall could turn into such an adventure? Shortcuts, saving time or adding unexpected adventure to your drive. Let's embark on this journey with our trusty GPS, who's got a knack for mischief. Picture this, you're running late, traffic is a nightmare, and then the GPS promises a shortcut. The catch? It's a roller coaster ride through narrow lanes where even cats would hesitate to tread. Before you know it, you're off the beaten path, literally. The GPS guides you onto a mysterious dirt road, leaving a cloud of dust in your wake. But wait, the adventure isn't over yet. The GPS, in its infinite wisdom, decides the fastest route is through a farmer's field. Yes, you heard it right, a farmer's field. The shortcut might have saved a minute, but you're now left with an hour's worth of cleaning the mud off your car. And just when you thought it couldn't get any wilder, the GPS chirps, "You have arrived at your destination." Who knew shortcuts could be so long? Welcome to the urban jungle, guided by your not-so-trusty GPS. Picture this. Our driver, a seasoned commuter, gets transformed into an unexpected explorer, thanks to the GPS's adventurous spirit. Suddenly the daily commute turns into an odyssey that would make even Homer gasp. The GPS, acting more like a mischievous tour guide, navigates our driver through the most congested parts of the city. It's like a safari, but instead of zebras and lions, it's taxis and delivery trucks. Each instruction from the GPS leads our driver deeper into traffic jams that make the Bermuda Triangle seem like a walk in the park. The chorus of car horns becomes the soundtrack to this urban exploration. As our driver sits there, trapped in the concrete wilderness, they can't help but wonder, who needs a safari when you have city traffic? And finally, when all else fails, your GPS decides to clam up. Imagine cruising along, relying on your trusty GPS, when suddenly the chatter ceases. No more turn left, take the second exit, or continue straight. Now it's just you, the open road, and a deafening silence. You're left guessing at every intersection, feeling like you're on a surprise episode of Choose Your Own Adventure. The journey suddenly morphs into a high-stakes guessing game, with each wrong turn adding minutes and frustration to your trip. You look to your silent guide for help, but it remains stubbornly mute, forcing you to rely on your own sense of direction. The tension mounts at every junction, each turn a potential step closer to your destination or a leap further into the unknown. So there you have it, folks. The silent treatment from your trusty GPS, turning a simple drive into an unplanned adventure. Next time, maybe we'll stick to a good old-fashioned map. And that's a wrap on our GPS Misadventures saga. From the mysterious detour to an abandoned parking lot, to the lost in translation tour that turned navigation into a linguistics lesson. We've time-traveled through historical landmarks, been overly optimistic about arrival times, and even pondered the meaning of life on the philosophical route. Our journey took us through the never-ending loop of roundabouts, the scenic route to nowhere, and the mischievous shortcut through a farmer's field. We've braved the urban jungle, and even survived the silent treatment from our GPS, turning every intersection into a guessing game. These misadventures have shown us the unpredictability and chaos that can come from relying on our seemingly trustworthy GPS. But remember, these are all in good fun. The reality is, GPS technology has revolutionized the way we navigate our world. Remember folks, sometimes the best guide is still an old-fashioned map. Thanks for tuning in.